Career Seeker Show live on WPPM LP 106.5 Philadelphia. We are back, and I'm happy to be back. Again, we are kicking off Entrepreneurship Month here in the beautiful city of Philadelphia and everywhere for that matter. I'm here today with Tiffany Southerland. We're doing duplicates today because we also have Tiffany Easley in the building. Tiffany Easley is the proprietor, owner of Envy My Eyewear, yes. West Philadelphia, 52nd Street. Stand up, because Tiffany is doing big things out there. But we also have Miss Gabrielle Wanamaker, VP of Business Programs at the Enterprise Center, also located in West Philadelphia. It's West Philly Day today. Yeah. Tiffany did some schooling out in that West Philly area. So you know what? We're just going to go West Philly style today, Will.
All right.
That's what it is. West Philly. Let's do it. All right, so listen, it's Entrepreneurship Month. We're kicking it off. I'm going to actually, I've been to the Enterprise Center, Gabrielle, on several occasions for events. And the last time I was there for a pitch competition that I believe the Urban League of Philadelphia and the Entrepreneurship Center there and the Enterprise Center had combined to kind of put this on. Keith Ellison was there, the person that introduced us.
Yes.
And I had a great time. The building is beautiful. Help me out here. They tell me that is the original house for American Bandstand. Is that correct?
That is correct. And the room that you were in was actually the studio where American Bandstand was recorded.
Wow, incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Incredible. So, I guess probably the true entrepreneurship venture in itself, the whole show. Yeah, right. So with that being said, let's just real quick, let's jump into it. I know we have some people out here listening. I just received a text actually. They're like, let's get to the entrepreneurship stuff. What is the Enterprise Center doing to support entrepreneurs here in the city of Philadelphia? And I know that's your thing, so let's talk about it. What's going on?
Sure. Well, we've been around for over 25 years, and our focus has always been around growing minority-owned businesses. And we are turning a corner in that our true focus right now is growing businesses that already have some traction, right? So if you have sales of at least $50,000, we are geared up to help to take you to the next level. And so we work with businesses with sales anywhere between $50,000 to $50 million, and our focus is around growth. And it's not just growth for the business owner, although we're very dedicated to the business owner by providing them opportunities, technical assistance, which means entrepreneurial education, providing them capital, and making connections for them. But we're also interested in making a change in our community, a true economic change, so that when business owners grow, they create jobs. And our focus is not just solely on the wealth for the individual business owner, but for the community as well, so that it is spread.
That is exceptional. You said from 50,000 to 50. Really, I guess, wherever else you want to go with it.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
So it's. I thought it was really interesting today because when I thought about celebrating Entrepreneurship Month a few months ago, I reached out. I was just having conversations, and I happened to be in West Philly at Envy My Eyewear, and I said, you know what, Tiffany, why don't you come on when we do Entrepreneurship Month? So in the spirit of true entrepreneurship, I didn't even have to call her. She got in touch with people like, look, tell Ken I still want to do this. And I always tell people, like, sometimes you have to want it. You have to position yourself. So Tiffany, I guess on air, I want to commend you for, in my opinion, positioning yourself always for success. And I know that's a big key for entrepreneurs. Can you share a little bit about your business, your entrepreneurship journey? How did this happen for you?
Oh, wow. So I've been in the optical industry for maybe over 20 years now, since I was 15.
Wow.
So I started with a Black-owned business. Okay. So I knew at 15, this is what I want to do. Nice. I'm going to have my own. So it took a lot of work. It took a lot of failure to actually get to where I am now. So we're still building. And the reason that I decided to open in West Philly, because I wanted to open up in a location that looked like where I was from. Okay. I wanted to give people a place they can come that was, something like Center City or something like the suburbs, with still giving them the same products and the same type of service.
That's awesome. So have you said it started, your journey has included a lot of failures.
Yes.
So are there things, and thinking about but this question actually can go to both of you, what are some things that you think some mistakes that entrepreneurs make early in their careers or in their ventures that you kind of things that you wish you might have known that you would want to share with another, that you want to share with someone on the come up, so to speak?
For me,
Yeah.
it was not taking the right advice from the right people.
Okay.
Listening to people.
So that was a polite way to say bad advice.
Yes.
From people who haven't done, so what kind, so if you can give an example of what kind of.
Just taking advice from people who don't have their own business or who's never had a business that actually succeeded or failed. Just, and not to be so into yourself.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So proud that you don't ask for help or you don't seek advice from those right people.
Right.
You said something that I find extremely interesting, and I do a ton of reading about entrepreneurship and just success in general. And you said that you knew what you wanted to do since you were 15. And this is the Career Seeker Show, so this applies to people even in their job search. I always say, if you don't know where you're going, then you're just going to wander around a little. So even within the standard job search, I think it's so much better if somebody says, Ken, I want to be a pediatric nurse.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, we can find a way to get there. Or, Ken, I want to do accounting for a nonprofit. Well, what type of nonprofit? Well, a nonprofit that helps individuals that are homeless. All right, we can get there. So you knew what you wanted to do, and you were able to kind of stay on the path to that and find ways to make that happen. And it's kind of a wavelength thing. If you read some of the Bob Proctor stuff and things of that nature, it's kind of like once you know what it is and you're committed to it and you plant that seed, things will start coming to you to allow you to accomplish that. What I also believe to be extremely interesting about your business, it seems like you've kind of taken in, it's almost like a family situation out there. When I came to visit you, I felt at home.
It is.
So talk to me about that a little.
So I have my sister who has been my absolute backbone for opening up my store. There's no way that I would be able to do a lot of the things that I can do without having her there. And then there's been an extra bonus because now we have a doctor. So, and she's also a Black female, and she's been in the optical industry for a while, and she has been amazing. Oh, and it's Shakira, my sister, and Dr.
Shout out to
Hill.
Shakira.
Yeah.
What's good?
So they help to make the business grow. And without them, and like I said, the failures come because before I didn't think I needed someone else to help it grow, but I do. I need that extra person or that family member or that friend to help me, to that support.
And it allows you to step out and wave the flag and kind of do some of the business development
It
stuff.
does.
Great. Now that we're speaking business development, I guess Gabrielle, that seems to be almost the Achilles heel for a lot of minority and or small businesses in general. How do I find new clients? How do I drum up marketing and advertising? How do I go about just letting people know that I'm here? Any advice for entrepreneurs that are looking to just, I guess, grow their business organically?
Sure. Well, I actually want to commend Tiffany because she was so on point. I mean, if I had been asked the question, everything that you brought up was exactly what I would have said. So how this gets back to marketing and being successful is one of the challenges is that a lot of business owners make a decision. I'm really good at making pies. I want to have a pie business, or I'm really good at making furniture. I want to have a furniture business. And we go to the market believing if we build it, they will come, right? And so you already set yourself up for a marketing challenge without first looking at your client base and saying, okay, I can do these things, but what's going to be of interest to them? Like, what kind of pie are they going to want?
What's the differentiation?
And what kind, right, exactly. What kind of chair do they want? So one is really taking the time to understand who who your target market is, right? So who likes your stuff, right? And rather than saying, a lot of people say, well, I want to sell to everybody. Okay, but you are much more successful when you sell to the people who want to buy what you have. So you can look at different media to advertise or to promote your company, but the one thing that you want to do is make sure that you're talking to your audience. So the people who are either currently buying or would be most primed to buy what it is that you have to offer. Because it's much easier to convince someone who wants what you have than to convince someone who doesn't.
Sure. That brings me to, I guess, to a question, and I guess that natural answer would be yes, but if you can expand on it, do you guys do business plan assistance and things of that nature there at the Enterprise Center?
So we use, we don't go through the business planning process because most of the businesses who come to us have already at least had an initial plan. Yeah. So what we do is we work with a business model. So we're looking specifically at, what's your value proposition, right? So what differentiates you from everybody else? Who do you want to sell to? What are the means by which you're going to sell them to? Who are you going to get your supplies from, right? Where are you going to get your support, your relationships, right, that support your business? What's the cost structure look like? And most importantly, what's the revenue structure look like? Okay. So once you have that experience and you've kind of built the business, it's easier to do a model and kind of course correct than starting from the very beginning and writing a full business plan. Gotcha. And from there, we're looking at, okay, so here's what we have. Where are the lever points? Where are the opportunities for growth? And what do we need to do to work in those areas to make sure that you're on track to grow the business?
Sure. Tiffany Easley.
I was like,
well, Tiffany Sutherland as well. Wow, I'm sitting here, but Tiffany Sutherland is an entrepreneur. She has a Four Corners Coaching. Yes. So join in the conversation.
I will.
What have you? Do you have any advice for people that are looking to kind of get up and get that thing moving? Because I would imagine that prior to starting your business, you probably thought about it for a while. You're a thinker. Yeah,
so definitely.
Do you have any advice?
I think knowing that it takes more than passion. Passion does not pay bills. Neither does love. Passion doesn't pay bills. Passion doesn't get motivation. Doesn't keep you producing podcast episodes, which is something that I do. It doesn't. Like motivation is those things run short. It's I think knowing that you have something to do, and even when you don't feel like doing it, in order for your thing to keep going forward, you have to do it even when you don't feel like it. That's the thing that I'm learning significantly in the stage that I'm at right now and growing my business. But I wanted to ask a question about what kind of businesses come to, like, what type, I'm thinking about the types of businesses that might be serviced by the Enterprise Center. Is there like have you seen a trend in like people who want to do this kind of business, or are the businesses that work with you all across the board, furniture makers all the way down to like cooks and chefs and things like that?
So we work with businesses across the board, but we do have some areas of expertise. So for one, we have a commercial kitchen. So for business owners who are in the food industry, you have to be in a commercial kitchen, a licensed commercial kitchen, in order to sell retail or wholesale. So we provide that. We work with a lot of businesses in the food industry. So both of the ones that are on the retail side, meaning selling their food to consumers, and also those folks who are in the industry who are selling to commercial businesses. Okay. We do a lot of work in the construction space, so we have something called the Construction Consortium. Being in Philly, you're probably aware it's been hard for us to break into the commercial construction business.
Us meaning minorities.
Yes, us meaning minorities, yes. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so we have really focused a strategy around bringing the best of the best in the construction industry together so that they can respond to requests for contracts that are larger, so together we can go for more.
Gotcha.
And then the idea is that if we're going together and we're going for more, eventually if you're part of that group, right, before you know it, you're growing at a pace that you can break off. Like, thank you, I'm going to put my own crew together, and I'm going to bid on a prime contract and not be a sub. So we're focused on both food and construction. We're moving also into the commercial cleaning, and we're just looking at our groups of clients and looking for opportunities to continue to build consortiums. But one of the things that we really try to do is prepare our businesses to grow, meaning have a good infrastructure. That financial piece is so important, right? So having that foundation, and when you're looking good, we try to build connections and relationships with people and new contracts and new opportunities so that you can grow. And I have to say, I'm really excited because I knew that Tiffany was going, Tiffany Southerland. Easley. Okay, Easley. And so I knew that Tiffany, the business, the owner of the optometry shop on 52nd Street, Envy My Eyewear. I met her yesterday in the hall at the Enterprise Center, and she is coming on board as a client so that we can help her grow. Yes.
I might be as well. I have to check my paperwork and make sure I'm eligible. But
we were speaking about wavelengths, but I think there's synergy. Synergy's always there. And it doesn't surprise me that you guys are both here today and that you guys saw each other and had the opportunity to meet for the first time yesterday. But Gabrielle, when I first spoke to you, I had mentioned that Tiffany was coming, and you said, I'm familiar with her and her business. We just haven't met. And that was incredible when you circled back and said, hey, I met Tiffany. And I'm like, wow, it just, once you put it out there, things start happening. So I'm glad to hear that what attracted you to an opportunity to, I guess, partner up and work with
I'm going to be honest. Initially, I wasn't attracted to the Enterprise Center. I didn't know anything about it, to be honest.
Sure.
I met the young lady Tempest from the Enterprise Center, and she would come around, and I liked her. But I was going to like the meetings that they were at the 52nd Street meetings. I didn't feel like it focused on my business. I felt like it was more for the other business on 52nd Street. But that's because I didn't do my research. On the Enterprise Center. See, I thought that's all they offered. So when Tempest invited me out to the lighting of the torch, and I came there, and I was at awe with all of the different minority businesses they had and the awards they were getting and some of the programs that the Enterprise Center had. And then I started doing my own research. Right. And I went in and talked to Brian Smith, and from there it was like, I'm doing this.
Gabrielle, can you share some information about the lighting of the torch? I'm not familiar. What is that?
Yes, so the lighting of the torch is one of our biggest fundraisers, and we at the event acknowledge some of the up and coming businesses and those businesses that have really paved a way for those behind it. So the ones that are at the forefront and the ones that are coming up, stepping up from behind.
Excellent.
I'm like getting chills thinking about the significance of this organization for our community, and speaking when I say our community, a community of color in a city like Philadelphia that has so much to offer. And so many people who are so dedicated to helping other people grow, yet have so many barriers that we might not even realize that we're up against until we learn that these resources are available. And like, wait, I didn't even know that I needed X, Y, and Z until you find out that thing is there. So this is extremely valuable. And I think that when people think about entrepreneurs, the idea, and I remember, I am someone who went straight through school and was like, I could never be an entrepreneur. I could never, and I don't run a business full time now. But the idea is that you're operating in a silo, and that's absolutely not the goal or the intention, right? It's everyone needs support, whether you're running a business on your own or you have a team to do it. And it's nice to know that communities are coming together to offer that support to people.
I think you bring a really valid point. I'm just thinking about my introduction to Gabrielle because, again, I reached out to Keith Ellison, who runs the Entrepreneurship Center at the Urban League of Philadelphia, for him to come on the show. And he went outside of their organization and referred me to Gabrielle. But how many people would really do that? But that's an entrepreneur mindset. Like, know what? They do it there. Ken, go ahead, run with that. And he connected us. Like, not only did he tell me her name, but he started sending emails. So I'm like, all right, I got to act on this. This guy done sent an email to Gabrielle. I'm like, I have to act now. But like, I do consulting for the Urban League of Philadelphia. That's how I knew Keith. But he could have easily introduced me to somebody. Well, he could have easily said, why don't you have such and such come? But he pushed me out to you because that showed me he respects what it is that you do and who you are, but what you guys do as a whole at the Enterprise Center. So that's just great. To your point about not working in a silo, kind of understanding the importance for the entire community. Wow.
So if you could give one piece of advice to an entrepreneur, both of you, this is a question for both of you, someone who has this idea, who's already started in moving in that direction, they have, let's say that they have a website, they have this thing, they have their legal papers, they're established as an organization. What would be some insight, one piece of advice, or just a thought that you would want them to have as they work to try and build their business? I know there are so many you could offer.
If it's just one, faith. Because if you don't have it, it's just not going to work.
Elaborate.
Because sometimes it can look like everything's falling apart. Everything. And you have that little bit of faith, and you say that little prayer, and it seems like everything just comes back together.
I love it.
Mm-hmm. And I like the acknowledgement there is that there will be times where things look like they're going to fall apart. Because that's the thing that people...
It don't look like it sometimes.
They literally start to fall apart, right? They actually are falling apart.
Yes.
Everything's falling apart. This is not a look. It's a bad look.
Well, thank you. And Ms. Gabrielle?
So I'll say two things, but pretend that they're one. So one of that I really appreciate that you put out there was to look for good advice, right? And to manage your ego. Because you have to have a big ego to work for yourself. You just have to, because otherwise it's not going to work. But you also have to manage that as well and know that you really don't know everything. And to get wise advice is probably one of the most important things that you could do, because we don't know what we don't know. And that's for all of us, reaching out and saying, okay, I did this, or I'm thinking about doing this, what do you think about that? And just being able to make informed decisions. All right, I lied. Money. Understanding the financial side of your business. I cannot tell you how many business owners I have encountered who are so proud of their top line. We're bringing in hundreds of thousands of dollars. I worked with a business owner, he was bringing in over $1 million, and at the end of the year, he himself was earning $30,000. And whenever we tried to talk about money, he was like, my business makes $1.5 million. So for us, that is great. But what we're most interested in is, what do you keep, right? And how are you managing your business and your expenses so that you're able to keep money and to have a profit and not just look at the top line.
And that's something that is difficult to do, because you're seeing that you're doing well based on what's coming in. But then you have to take a very honest look about what's going out.
What's the cost?
And a lot of times people do get mixed up in the two numbers. Wow. All right, excellent. Well, let's do this. Gabrielle, how do our listeners get in contact with you and the Enterprise Center?
Sure. So you can call us at 215-895-4000. Again, 215-895-4000. If you want to speak to me personally, you can reach me at 215-895-4010. But if you call that first number and ask for me, they'll be sure to ring me up, and we can talk about your business and how we can help. Our website is www.theenterprisecenter.com. So one word.
Excellent. Tiffany Easley, Envy My Eyewear. How do our listeners get in contact with you?
Well, of course, you can call the store. The store number is 215-430-2900.
Call out there and speak to Shakira.
And guess what? It's not 215, it's 267.
It's 267. Give them the number again.
267-403-2900. Our website is www.nvmyeyewear.com, and it's N as in Nancy, V as in Victor.
You have any social media feeds?
I do. Our Instagram handle is at envymyeyewear33.
Can I ask you one last question?
Yes,
Do you sell sunglasses?
we do.
All right.
We are a full service optical.
I was going to say, yeah, you guys are full service because
We're
I
full
need
service, meaning we have a doctor, we have
And
a
y'all take
retail
insurance?
floor, we take almost everything,
All right.
and we also have an on-site lab.
This is so exciting.
You know,
I'm sorry. I'm trying. I'm so happy right now. Like you can't even.
I'm
Well,
gonna
I'm
tell you.
excited you're excited.
I
I'm
can't
loving
wait
the
to go buy me some
glasses.
sunglasses
That's
at a
what-
black woman's eyeglass place. Okay,
And come and get
I'm
envy.
so excited.
Exactly.
Yes, yes, yes.
I'm telling
I
everybody.
needed some lenses on these frames. I broke a lens. I went out and hollered at Tiffany about this. I saw her somewhere else prior, but I went out to her place and she took care of me like ASAP. I felt like I was really a special person. So that's all I can ask. I went out and I felt like a special person and got service. So that's beautiful, man. I love what you're doing. Both of you guys, Tiffany, Gabrielle, you guys mean so much to the Career Seekers Show. But just what a great way to kick off Entrepreneurship Week. We did it again, Philly. It's the Career Seekers Show. We do it every Wednesday from 4 to 5 here on WPPM LP Philadelphia. Tiffany Southerland,
Yes, sir.
it's always fun.
Always, every week.
So on behalf of Tiffany Southerland, Alberta Bertolino, Will Martin, Jody Brockington, the entire Career Seekers team, WPPM, Philly Cam, all of us out here, we want to thank Gabrielle Wanamaker of the Enterprise Center. We want to thank Tiffany Easley of Envy My Eyewear for checking in with us today. This is what we do. Next week, we're saluting veterans. We're saluting entrepreneurs all month, but next week, we're going to ride out with the veterans. So check in with us from 4 to 5 next Wednesday.
And we also have Alicia Kinchlow, who is an attorney. And when I tell you someone who has all of the amazing things happening, she is phenomenal. She'll also be with us next week as well.
I love it. It's the Career Seekers Show. Yo, Gee, is it a wrap?
It's a wrap, go.
Let's do it.
Leave it for anything more. It means so much more.
I'm like, wait. Wow. This is like super exciting.
So much
Yeah,
more.
I'm so
I'm scared. Having, come face to face and then your sister, and I'm like, wow.
Everything's for a reason, nothing's by mistake.
And I'm just in vision, whatever, I'm like, so
You have to come and see this.
absolutely. I have to go get my glasses.
Yes. It's going to be great.
I can't wait to tell. I'm going to the hairdresser on Saturday. I'm telling everybody in hairdresser. I'm like,
Oh,
listen,
here, let me
y'all
give you
need some.